Clean water is one of our most important resources. Our very survival depends on it. But where does it come from? If you look upstream, you will probably find a forest. Forests are vital to our water supply. They not only influence how and where rain falls, they filter and clean our water far better and more cheaply than man-made solutions can. So protecting our forests protects our clean water. Remember, when you turn on a tap, you're tapping into forests. Look after forests, because every drop counts.
Which I saw in the last slide, we have to at least double the contribution of bioenergy to the global energy system. Now, this doubling includes traditional biomass dealing with it, and practically, we should gradually transition out of the traditional use of biomass and then be able to sort of make the modern biomass available to everybody. If we move in that situation, at least we have to increase 4 times modern bioenergy over the next 15 to 20 years. It's an enormous challenge if we want to go for it. Now, this has been a big issue, and it's still a big issue, and we can see that it's continued to be a very big issue. There are some countries, there are some regions which are successfully managing. I think Brazil is one of the countries which are really managing quite well, but then there are other countries and regions which are really struggling to harness these situations very well. Of course, we're going to hear from the other panelists as to how they are trying to sort of, take advantage of these multiple benefits in specific circumstances. But this is one of the central issues when it comes to the bioenergy development. Cost. Still, this is a fairly significant issue here. In some cases, costs are quite competitive, but in other cases, it has not been. And particularly when it comes to biofuels, it has been also sensitive to the price of the fossil fuels as well. The last couple of years, fossil fuel prices are quite down, and then investment in liquefied biofuel has dried up. So how are we going to ensure that continuous investment are going to flow, particularly bioenergy development cannot be a short-term thing. It is a long-term commitment.
Thank you, Dr. Takada, for this very informative presentation. I am pretty sure that when we come to the debate, there will be, many issues that that can be raised in relation to your presentation. Our next panelist is Ms. Lata Swamy. Ms. Swamy is currently Senior Advisor to Ernesto Zedillo, Chair of the Rockefeller Foundation Economic Council on Planetary Health at the Yale Center for the Study of Globalization. Her research explores the linkage between tropical resources, health systems, gender equity, food justice, poverty, and post-colonialism in the midst of global environmental change. She also serves as UN ambassador for the NGO Women's Environment and Development Organization and is a junior board member of the Eco Health Alliance. I now invite Ms. Swam to make her presentation.
Thank you, Chair. And good morning, Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates, respected colleagues, and guests. Many thanks to the UN Forum on Forests Secretariat for organizing today's celebration of forests. It is indeed an honor and pleasure to be a part of this panel focusing on forests and energy. Any concerted global effort to mitigate climate change will require a reduction in energy sector emissions, achieved through reduction in energy, consumption, and a shift to renewable energy. In advocating and implementing such a shift, it is crucial that inequitable global and local energy consumption is addressed. Wood-based biomass energy is the most important energy resource for nearly half the world's population, both for rural and urban dwellers, particularly in sub-Saharan Africa and parts of Asia. From collection to consumption, the reliance on burning biomass, particularly firewood and charcoal, for household energy creates disproportionate risks and hardships on women as well as children. Women and girls, especially in sub-Saharan Africa and parts of Asia, spend much of their day performing basic subsistence tasks, such as collecting fuel wood. This can require walking over 15 kilometers in some cases to collect enough for fuel wood for basic household needs. This is undeniably time-consuming and very physically demanding.